The coronation in London will be seen in many parts of Europe, not least in Paris.
It took some time, though, to convince the government and church leaders back in London that a live broadcast on television was a good idea. But eventually they were given the green light, and broadcasting history was made at one of the oldest and most sacred buildings in the capital. By modern-day standards, there will have been a select crowd here to watch the first coronation held here at the Abbey of William the Conqueror back in 1066. But by 1953, there was live television, and 27 million people in this country alone watched Queen Elizabeth II crowned here from the comfort of their own homes. RAF veteran Peter Dimmock, here on the left at the Abbey 60 years ago, was the man in charge of the live television broadcast. Now in his 90s, the scrapbook he kept of his plans for the programme is among his most treasured possessions. Thankfully, it all went off without a hitch.
We only had very largely obsolescent pre-war equipment, connected with up to 300 feet of cable per camera, and very much subject to rain. So when it was raining on the day, my heart sank. But I don't know whether somebody out there was looking after it, but not a single camera broke down. It was an absolute miracle.
And even religious leaders were won over by the box. A young Dean of Westminster vividly remembers watching it, aged 4.
I don't think we could see terribly much, but there was great excitement, there was a great sense of engagement, and that this was a really special moment. We all felt that in the family. I think we all felt that around the country, probably around the world, frankly.
If we can have her sitting there.
The BBC's live broadcast of the Thanksgiving service 60 years on is a much more straightforward affair, thanks to modern technology.
The cameras nowadays are so much smaller and more sensitive to the light, so you don't need massive lights. But also you've got remote cameras, so you can very subtly sort of strap a camera to one of the pillars and operate it remotely, so you don't have to have big boxes with operators inside the Abbey.
Not everyone owned a television, but those who did became very popular, and the success of the broadcast meant London was to be at the centre of TV programme making for decades to come. Sarah Harris, BBC London News.